This is what a teenager's workstation looks like. You eat here, you do everything here at this workstation. Look at this computer. It is utterly disgusting. Look at all that dust buildup right there. There's so much dust on here. You can hear the fans. They are loud. They're not working properly. It's time to give this little PC a makeover, so stick around. My goal is to add some Noctua fans, a GPU, and some custom cables to complete the Noctua theme. But first, we need to clean out this computer of all the dust, at least as much as I can. Yeah, it's been a good long time since this PC's been cleaned. Let's open up the backside and see what that looks like. Well, the backside's not too bad, just a little bit of dust. Let's go ahead and blow this out the best we can. And to do that, I have a high-pressure blower. It's a CompuCleaner 2.0. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. Hopefully I'll remember. Just a quick break over here to the workstation. When I pull the computer, look, there's a dirty sock. There's some fast food. There is a mouse and some sort of button there. And just look how dirty that is. Anyway, I digress. It will be cleaned up. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the 4 fans that are in here. The 2 intake, the 1 on the CPU cooler, and I do have an exhaust fan. So let me get those out of the way. And just so you know, this case is a mid-tower NZXT H510, I believe. I've had this for about 3.5 or 4 years. It was one of the first cases I ever worked in that I made my first PC build. And you can see how incredibly dusty, even with blowing out the dust out in my garage, how it's caked on right there. So that's probably a couple of years of neglect. And I know these up here RGB fans, they just plugged into SATA power, so they're always 100% full speed all the time. Cheap fans. They lasted how long I probably should have. Let's take out the exhaust fan. All right, looks like my exhaust fan is plugged into the motherboard. Right there, fan header. Perfect. Now for the fan on the Hyper 212 from Cooler Master. I definitely know that's plugged into the motherboard. And the CPU I have in here is it's an APU. It is a Ryzen 5 3400G, so good enough just to do some web surfing. I'm going to have to take these brackets off and put them on the Noctua fan that I will put right here. All right, all the fans are off, but now I really have some extra cleaning to do. So I gave it a good once over. Is it perfectly clean? No, but it is 100 times better than it was before. All right, let's start with the 2 intake fans. Here's my Noctua fans on the brackets. Let me get that screwed in. All right, that's complete. I'm going to put this instead of here. On the NZXT H510, you have some captive screws that make this fit pretty nicely. So there's the intake fan. All right, so my next goal is to get an exhaust fan up here, an exhaust fan on top. And since I have some splitters, I'm going to put a push fan on this side and then a pull fan on this side, so I'll have a dual fan heat sink. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that off camera. Oh, and also I'm going to put on some cable extension as well as throw in a GPU. That's an RX 580. It's an 8 gig to be paired with the Ryzen 3400G. So in a snap of a finger, we'll see what it looks like. All right, well, there is the finished product, a little Noctua PC gaming rig right there. You can see got the push-pull fans on the Hyper 212. I got the 2 intake fans, 2 exhaust fans. I got some Noctua themed cable extensions. And that RX 580 sure does look nice. Again, I got that paired with the Ryzen 5 3400G, and the workstation is nice and cleaned up. So there you go. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm going to see you in the next video.